the ball to wrap up. That's the ball to wrap up. All right, I got to do this quick because it's the Gunners' first game today. It's not really, actually. It's kind of like a preseason game, but it's not. It's the Community Shield. They're facing Man City, the team that won everything last year. It's kind of like a beginning to the season, but the points don't count. But you do win a trophy, so it's kind of like a preseason game. But it's not a preseason game, but it is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a reason to drink a couple Guinness and watch soccer, okay? Anyway, so the U.S. Women's World Cup team. I'm going to start with this. I'm not like these people that are all hot and bothered about their supposed lack of patriotism. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else people wanted them to do this World Cup. I know there were some people that were offended that they kneeled for certain reasons last World Cup, and I didn't have a problem with it, but some people did, fine. But this World Cup, no one kneeled. Everyone stood. And now people are saying, well, I've heard a ton of people, but they don't sing along to the anthem while it plays. What do you want? I mean, at this point, what do you want them to just ride in on a goddamn bald eagle into the stadium, you know, pumping I Am a Real American by Hulk Hogan? Would that be showing enough patriotism? They got a tattoo of fucking, Teddy Roosevelt on their forehead. Would that be enough patriotism? Relax here, people, with this fake over-patriotism that some people show. When you're sitting home on your couch, if you're mad that they don't sing the national anthem, then when you're at home on your couch, you better stand. Every time the national anthem plays for a sport, you better stand up and salute. Relax. So, that's not the problem I had with the U.S. Women's World Cup team. Look, I came into this World Cup tour as a soccer fan. I said they're too old. They're depending on too many players that shouldn't even still be playing in World Cups. They're like the Yankees. They're depending on players who, were great 8 years ago. They're wanting them to turn back the hands of time. And not everyone can be Commish, all right? Not everyone can grow beautiful, luscious hair like this at 42 years old, all right? So they had a lot of old players. They had a lot of very young players. Very young players are also trouble because they've never been in this spot before. And the players they had that were in the perfect middle that were supposed to lead them got hurt. Big problem. So I said I didn't think they were going to win this year. I thought the rest of the world was catching up. I thought teams like England, a lot of the European countries, England, Sweden, etc., had all closed the gap. And look, this is good for women's sports. It is. It's good for women's sports. You don't want the U.S. women winning every single World Cup. It means that other countries are catching up. It means that in other countries they're starting to take women's sports a little seriouser. Wow, that's a heavy word for you guys on a Sunday morning. A little more serious. Thanks, Hackettstown Education. It means that, there's a pathway now for female athletes in other countries. That's important. That's more important than patriotism. Women around the world being able to, do the same things that men are allowed to do is more important than our current sporting patriotism. The other thing that I had issue with, the thing I had outside of the technical, the play reasons with the Women's World Cup team is I did not like all the commercials before the World Cup about how are you going to stop us? You can't stop us. There's no stopping this. And I get it. Look, teams do hype videos. Maybe the Dream Team back then, I might be misremembering. They might have had one or two. But I doubt that it was in such an obnoxious and cocky way that just, have a little respect for your competitors. and the sport that you're playing. I mean, it was really way too far. I'm sure ESPN or one of, Fox, one of them put them up to it. But I mean, just the unmitigated arrogance that was these commercials. You can't stop, you can't beat us, blah, 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 blah. Well, a lot of people, it seems that, the only team you beat in the whole tournament was Vietnam. Right? They had 2 draws and a win first round, and then this loss in penalty kicks. So the only team they beat was Vietnam. So it turns out maybe it's you who should have figured out how to beat somebody. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, by the time the next World Cup comes around, a lot of these younger players, Trinity Rodman, Dennis Rodman's daughter, etc., should be prime and ready to go. And hopefully they can put another run together to the finals at least. But again, the rest of the world is catching up. And I'll say that's a good thing. It is. It's a good thing. Just like with basketball, same thing. Once the men couldn't breeze through with Stephon Marbury anymore, it was a good thing for the sport of basketball. It's a good thing for the sport of soccer. It's a good thing for sports, period, and for, equal rights in sports. So, there we go. But as far as the patriotism goes, ease up on this one. This is SDS.